Throughout history, there have been people who have committed some of the most heinous crimes fathomable. For those crimes, they have been convicted and sentenced to death. Welcome to Death Row Executions, where we take a look into the lives of society's worst offenders. And now, your host, Air.
Donald Wackerly was born on October 8, 1969. At a very early age, he began drinking and using steroids to bulk up. He experimented with other drugs, and when he turned 24, he started using meth. He would spend $25 a week on meth and quickly became an addict. His $25 a week habit jumped to $300 a day worth of crack. Despite being an addict, Donald found love and married a woman named Michelle. The couple did not have a lot of money, and on September 6, 1996, Donald told his wife that they needed money and he would do whatever it took to get it. While talking to his wife, Donald was wearing latex gloves and loading his rifle. The following day, on September 7, 1996, Donald chose to put his plans into fruition, so he got in his truck with Michelle and they drove to a dam near Muldrow, Oklahoma. They spotted a blue Toyota pickup by a levee and saw an elderly man that was fishing alone on the opposite side of the levee. Michelle got out of the car alone and went looking to see if there was anyone else around. The coast was clear and Michelle walked towards the man and they spoke for about 5 minutes. The man was 51-year-old Pam SAYAKHOUMANNE. After chatting with Pam, Michelle left and went back to where Donald had parked his car near Pam's. Michelle and Donald waited in their car for Pam to finish fishing, and after about 45 minutes, Pam came walking towards the cars with his fishing equipment. Seeing that Pam was on his way, Donald got out of his Jeep and raised the hood in order to make it look like he needed a jump. When Pam was close enough, Donald asked him if he had any jumper cables. Michelle knew that Pam was about to die, so she hid behind the Jeep. Donald shot Pam over 5 times and killed him. Once the shooting was over, Michelle came from behind the Jeep, and Donald put Pam's body in the truck bed and then got into the truck and drove it into the water. They gathered his fishing equipment and tossed everything into a nearby wooded area. Donald did, however, decide to keep a few things of Pam's, like his fishing reel and tackle box. A couple of days after the murder, Donald pawned Pam's fishing reel at Rocky's pawn shop in Roland, but he decided to keep the tackle box for himself. Just hours after the murder, at 12:30 a.m. on September 8th, a man by the name of Dennis Butler went four-wheeling near a dam on the Arkansas River with his nephew Rodney. Their fun was interrupted when they noticed a truck that was almost fully submerged in the water and a body lying in the truck bed. The men left to Rodney's house and phoned the police to report what they had seen. Police made it to Rodney's and they followed him and his uncle to the exact location of where they spotted the truck. The body was collected, and after an investigation, they found out that the body belonged to none other than Pam SAYAKHOUMANNE. Investigators had no leads and no suspects. It wasn't until December of 1996 Michelle Wackerly decided to come clean. Michelle hired an attorney, and together they met with Oklahoma's State Bureau of Investigation agents Franchini and Page. Michelle told the agents what happened on the day of September 7, 1996, and led them to the exact location of the murder. Michelle also told the agents that Donald pawned Pam's fishing reel, so they made it to Rocky's pawn shop and got the fishing reel. They spoke with the owner of the pawn shop, and he confirmed that Donald was indeed the person who brought the fishing reel to the shop. After leaving the pawn shop, the next location was Donald's apartment. Their search resulted in them finding the rifle that was used to kill Pam, along with a box of ammo, latex gloves, and Pam's tackle box that Donald was unable to part from. The very last stop was the wooded area Donald dumped the other fishing equipment. Michelle led them to the location, and the agents were able to recover everything that was thrown out. Donald was arrested and sentenced to death in 1998 by a Sequoyah County jury and sent to Oklahoma State Pen. Donald maintained his innocence and said that his wife was setting him up because she hated him so much. While in prison, Donald converted to Buddhism. Over the years, he tried to appeal his case numerous times. One point on an appeal that made the state do a lot of research was Donald's claim that the location where Pam was killed belonged to the government, so he should have had a federal trial, not a state trial. The appeal was denied, and the response was, "In compliance with this statutory directive, the Secretary promulgated the following regulation, now incorporated into the Code of Federal Regulations. Except as otherwise provided in this part or by federal law or regulation, state and local laws and ordinances shall apply on project lands and waters. This includes, but is not limited to, state and local laws and ordinances governing: number 1, operation and use of motor vehicles, vessels, and aircraft; number 2, hunting, fishing, and trapping; number 3, use or possession of firearms or other weapons; number 4, civil disobedience and criminal acts; number 5, littering, sanitation, and pollution; number 6, alcohol or other controlled substances. These state and local laws and ordinances are enforced by those state and local enforcement agencies established and authorized for that purpose. Through this regulation, duly promulgated by the Secretary of the Army acting on behalf of the United States on authority delegated by Congress, the United States consented to state jurisdiction over criminal acts committed on Corps of Engineers, project waters, and properties. Assuming, therefore, that the murder in this case occurred on the Corps of Engineers property, which is part of a navigable river and channel maintenance flood control project, as Wackerly asserts, the state of Oklahoma properly exercised jurisdiction over the situs of the crime by express consent of the United States. There is no merit to Wackerly's claim that Oklahoma's jurisdiction to prosecute this case was displaced by exclusive federal jurisdiction. Because we find that the state of Oklahoma properly exercised jurisdiction in the prosecution of this matter, there is also no merit to Wackerly's claim that prior counsel were ineffective for not raising this jurisdictional claim in previous proceedings. Donald's execution was set for October 14, 2010, days after his birthday. He had a final meal of a medium stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with mushrooms, bell peppers, black olives, and jalapenos. To drink, he had a Dr. Pepper, and for dessert, he had a coconut cream pie and a chocolate shake. The U.S. Supreme Court denied his final appeals, and they also denied a motion filed by Donald's attorneys requesting that a spiritual advisor be present with him during the execution. On the day of the execution, 2 Buddhist monks were in the witness room as viewers.
Well, today is October 14th, and 4 hours from now, Don Wackerly will be executed in Oklahoma. So this is very much in all of our minds and hearts right now.
For Donald's final words, he began chanting a hymn of ultimate compassion. The monks joined in on the chant, and Donald's attorneys did as well. Within minutes of them chanting, Warden Randy Workman shouted, "Let the execution begin." Donald was pronounced dead 6 minutes later at 6:12 p.m. He died by method of lethal injection at the Oklahoma State Pen in McAllister.